Voyager spacecraft just sent back new data which tells a lot about future. How much further can the spacecraft go? The Voyager 1 spacecraft is sending back some funky data from interstellar space that's leaving NASA engineers scratching their heads. Readouts on the orientation of the 1970s era space probe now appear to be randomly generated or don't reflect any possible scenario the spacecraft could be in. NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory officials said this week. The problematic data are coming from the so-called Attitude Articulation and Control System, or AACS, the onboard equipment that measures, reports, and changes the position of the vehicle in space. The system keeps an antenna pointed at Earth, which allows it to send data home. Before we get into the video, do like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. The new bizarre situation calls into question the future of the long-duration mission. Given that Voyager 1 continues to return data from its science instruments, all signs suggest the controls are still working, though the data doesn't make sense. The US Space Agency said, "It otherwise seems to be functioning normally." A mystery like this is sort of par for the course at this stage of the Voyager mission, said Suzanne Dodd, project manager for Voyager 1 and 2 in a NASA statement released Wednesday. Both Voyagers 1 and 2 are almost 45 years old, which is far beyond their original life expectancy. Interstellar space is a high-radiation environment that no spacecraft has ever flown in before, she said, so surprises are almost expected to arise. Voyager 1 is 14.5 billion miles from Earth. That means light takes 20 hours and 33 minutes to travel that distance. In other words, the lag between getting a message to Voyager and receiving a response is about 2 days. There are some big challenges for the engineering team, Dodd said. But I think if there's a way to solve this issue with the telemetry, our team will find it. Voyager 1 has been exploring the solar system since 1977, along with its counterpart Voyager 2. They were originally intended to study Jupiter and Saturn, their moons and Saturn's rings. For the two-planet mission, they were built to last just 5 years. With their initial success, engineers doubled the mission's objectives to include 2 more giant planets, Uranus and Neptune. Between the two, the spacecraft have explored 4 planets, 48 moons, and a host of planetary magnetic fields and rings. The spacecraft generates about 4 fewer volts of power annually, limiting the number of systems they can operate. The mission team has turned off equipment to reserve power. No science instruments have been powered down yet. The goal is to keep the Voyagers running beyond 2025, according to NASA. After months of sending junk data about its health to flight controllers on Earth, the 45-year-old Voyager 1 is once again beaming back clear telemetry data on its status beyond our solar system. NASA knew the problem was somewhere in the spacecraft's Attitude Articulation and Control System, or AACS, which keeps Voyager 1's antenna pointed at Earth. But the solution was surprising. The AACS had started sending the telemetry data through an onboard computer known to have stopped working years ago, and the computer corrupted the information, NASA officials wrote in an update. The rest of the spacecraft was fine collecting data as it normally would. Once engineers began to suspect Voyager 1 was using a dead computer, they simply sent a command to the probe so its AACS system would use the right computer to phone home. It was a low-risk fix, but time-consuming. It takes a radio signal nearly 22 hours to reach Voyager 1, which is 14.6 billion miles, or 23.5 billion kilometers from Earth, and growing further by the second as of August 30th. With the Voyager 1 data glitch solved, NASA is now pondering a new mystery: what caused it in the first place? "We are happy to have the telemetry back," Voyager project manager Suzanne Dodd said in a statement. "We'll do a full memory readout of the AACS and look at everything it's been doing. That will help us to try to diagnose the problem that caused the telemetry issue in the first place." Engineers suspect Voyager 1 began routing its health and status telemetry through the dead computer after receiving a bad command from yet another onboard computer. That would suggest some other problem lurking inside Voyager 1's computer brains. But mission managers don't think it's a threat to the iconic spacecraft's long-term health. Still, they'd like to know what's exactly going inside Voyager 1. "So we're cautiously optimistic, but we still have more investigation to do," Dodd said in a statement. NASA launched the Voyager 1 spacecraft and its twin Voyager 2 in 1977 on a mission to explore the outer planets of the solar system. Voyager 1 flew by Jupiter and Saturn doing its primary mission and kept going, ultimately entering interstellar space in 2012, with Voyager 2 reaching that milestone in 2018. For the most part, Voyager 1 still appears to be working correctly, gathering and returning science data. It's receiving and executing commands from Earth, although because of its great distance from us, it takes about 2 days to send a message and get a response. But we are still in communication with Voyager 1. We know the antenna is still pointing towards us, regardless of the strange nature of the telemetry data readings. NASA said the team will continue to monitor the signal closely, as it continues to determine whether the invalid data is coming directly from the AACS or another system involved in producing and sending telemetry data. Until the nature of the issue is better understood, the team cannot anticipate whether this might affect how long the spacecraft can collect and transmit science data. Voyager 1 is the most distant human-made object from Earth. Working with a system that is so far away and that was designed so many decades ago presents many challenges, beyond just the lag in communications. Suzanne Dodd, project manager for Voyager 1 and 2, commented, "A mystery like this is sort of par for the course at this stage of the Voyager mission. The spacecraft are both almost 45 years old, which is far beyond what the mission planners anticipated. We are also in interstellar space, a high radiation environment that no spacecraft have flown in before, so there are some big challenges for the engineering team. But I think if there is a way to solve this issue with the AACS, our team will find it. Once the team finds the source of the problem, engineers might be able to solve the issue through software changes, or by using one of the spacecraft's redundant hardware systems. But if they can't find the source of the problem, they might just have to adapt to living with the discrepancies." Voyager 1's journey has encountered obstacles before. In 2017, the spacecraft's primary thrusters were showing signs of wear and tear. The engineers switched to other thrusters on Voyager 1. Thrusters that operated during the mission's planetary encounters some 37 years earlier. It's another example of the remarkable longevity and ingenious design of the Voyager spacecraft. Voyager 1 almost didn't get off the ground at its launch, as its rockets came within 3.5 seconds of running out of fuel on September 5th, 1977. But the probe made it safely to space and raced past its twin after launch, getting beyond the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter before Voyager 2 did. Voyager 1's first pictures of Jupiter beamed back to Earth in April 1978, when the probe was 165 million miles from Earth, which is about 266 million kilometers. Okay guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you at the next one.